Hey! Step away from the car. You think you can just park here? The officer's shout slices through the morning air outside the Atlanta courthouse. A black woman in a business suit turns slowly, calm but firm. Excuse me? I work here. Officer, don't lie, ma'am. You don't look like anyone who works inside that building. Crowd murmurs. Cameras start recording. One cop grabs her arm, hard. Papers fall from her folder, flying across the courthouse steps. She looks him dead in the eye and says, "Do you have any idea who you're touching?" He smirks. "Officer, yeah, someone about to get arrested." She whispers back, cold, calm, and terrifyingly confident. "No. Someone you're about to regret arresting." They thought she was just another woman breaking a rule. They had no idea she was the daughter of the man who wrote the law. "So before we go on, tell me, where are you watching from? I want to see how far justice travels today." Her name was Maya Carter, a civil rights attorney known for taking on the cases no one else would touch. But today, she wasn't here to argue inside the courtroom. She was here to defend a client, a young black father tossed and beaten by the same department that now surrounded her car. The irony burned. The courthouse where she fought for justice was now the place where justice was being denied to her. As officers barked orders, Maya looked at the papers clutched in her hand, legal documents for the case she was supposed to argue in 10 minutes. She took a deep breath, fixing her blazer. "Maya, I'm here for a hearing, not a headline." But the universe had other plans. Because in the next few minutes, those same officers would learn exactly who they had just grabbed. And why touching her would become the biggest mistake of their careers. Officer Miller stepped closer, face tightening. "Miller, ma'am, we're not asking again. Move the car or we'll move it for you." "Maya, you'll do no such thing." The crowd's murmur grew louder. People had their phones up now, recording every second. One woman whispered, "Isn't that Maya Carter? The civil rights attorney?" The other replied, "Yeah, the one who sued half the department last year." But Miller didn't care. He grabbed Maya by the wrist. Her folder hit the ground, papers fluttered across the courthouse steps like broken promises. "Maya, let go of me." "Miller, you're resisting." "Maya, I'm standing still." The tension was electric. Officer Jensen circled behind her, one hand near his cuffs. "Jensen, you lawyers think you're untouchable. Newsflash, not outside the courtroom." Maya looked around, at the cameras, at the faces watching. She didn't yell. She didn't beg. She just said quietly, "You're making a mistake that's going to live forever." They didn't stop. Miller grabbed her shoulder, Jensen pulled at her arm. Someone in the crowd shouted, "Hey, she's not fighting. Stop." Another voice, "This is assault, she's an attorney." Maya stumbled forward, knees scraping the concrete. The courthouse doors swung open, a bailiff ran out, shouting, "What's going on here?" But the officers ignored him. Cameras kept rolling. Dozens of bystanders, lawyers, students, courthouse workers, now filming the chaos. Then came the crackle of the police radio. A dispatcher's voice cut through the noise. "Control to Unit 12, confirm, name of detainee?" Miller pressed his shoulder. Maya Carter. Female, mid-30s. A brief pause. Then a new voice, deeper, urgent. "Repeat that. Did you say Maya Carter?" The two officers froze. Everyone felt it, the air changed. The radio continued. "Confirm identity, daughter of Judge Raymond Carter?" Silence. Miller's hand slipped from her arm. Jensen stepped back like he'd touched fire. Whispers spread through the crowd like wind catching flame. Maya adjusted her sleeve, brushed the dust from her blazer, and looked at both men. Her voice calm, deliberate. "Now you know who you just laid hands on." The bailiff spoke softly, almost in disbelief. "Judge Carter's daughter." Miller swallowed hard. The smugness was gone, replaced by panic. Every camera was locked on him. And Maya, unshaken, stood exactly where she was when it began. The moment the name Judge Raymond Carter echoed through the radio, the crowd gasped. The officers' faces drained of color. The senior courthouse marshal rushed down the steps, shouting, "Sergeant Miller! Officer Jensen! Step back, now!" The cameras zoomed in, recording every trembling movement. Miller's hand dropped from his belt. Jensen took a step away, his voice stuttering. "We didn't know, sir. She didn't identify herself." The marshal cut him off. "She doesn't have to identify herself when you're supposed to recognize the face of justice in this city." Maya stood tall, straightened her blazer, and looked at the sea of phones pointed at her. The same calm that made judges listen and juries cry returned to her voice. "You didn't see a woman walking to work," she said. "You saw a color you didn't trust, and that's why you grabbed me." The crowd erupted in whispers. Cameras clicked, recording every word. Even the officers couldn't look her in the eye. She took one slow step forward, face to face with Miller. "You see, Sergeant, I'm not just my father's daughter. I'm the woman who spends every day fighting for people you treat the same way you treated me." No shouting. No anger. Just truth, heavy enough to break every ounce of arrogance left between them. Behind her, people began to clap. One voice shouted, "We stand with you, Maya." Then another. And another. Within seconds, the entire courthouse front was filled with applause. The two officers stood frozen, the realization of what they'd done sinking deeper with every cheer. And for the first time that morning, they couldn't hide behind their badges. By sunset, the video had already hit 2 million views. Every news outlet in Atlanta ran the same headline. "Police drag civil rights attorney, then discover she's Judge Carter's daughter." Clips from different angles flooded social media, hashtags trending nationwide. Hashtag Justice for Maya, hashtag Daughter of Justice, hashtag Police Accountability. The department released a statement hours later. An internal investigation has been launched regarding the incident outside the Fulton County Courthouse. But everyone knew what that meant: damage control. Meanwhile, Maya stood before the courthouse steps once again, this time surrounded by cameras and microphones, not cuffs. Reporters shouted questions. "Miss Carter, what do you want to say to the officers involved?" She paused, looked right into the main camera, and spoke with quiet power. "What happened today isn't just about me. It's about every black man and woman who's been treated like a threat before they're treated like a human. I was lucky they recognized my name. But what about the ones they don't?" The crowd fell silent. Even the cameras seemed to pause. She took a breath and looked up at the courthouse, her father's old courtroom windows glowing in the evening light. "My father believed justice should speak louder than fear. Today, it finally did." Applause broke out again, this time, not just from the crowd, but from people watching all over the country. The same steps where she was dragged in the morning were now the ground where she stood taller than ever. And the same uniform that once symbolized power was now a reminder that power means nothing when truth walks in. They thought they were dragging a woman who broke a rule. They didn't know they were dragging the daughter of justice itself.